Kia ora, it's Iwi, and welcome to The Chew, coming at you from the studio here in Kā-Muriwai, Arrowtown. Ko Arrowtown Dad tēnei. And today we have Mikey. We have Mikey found with us today, and we're having a bit of a chat. What are we going to be chatting about today? Arrowtown.
Oh, different.
Yeah. Let's have a little bit of a chat about Arrowtown. So, obviously, I live in Arrowtown right now. And Mikey used to live in Arrowtown some time back. So, we thought we'd have a bit of a chat about just Arrowtown as a subject.
Yeah, why not?
You can probably see, or maybe not. No, you probably can't see it, but in behind I've got the UFC playing right now.
Sorry.
So if Mikey looks distracted, it's because he's watching the UFC right now.
I'm watching some guy get pummeled.
Alrighty. So we were going to start with this whole chat about Arrowtown, mate. What do you reckon?
I don't know. A nice place for me is like moving here. Like when we moved here in 2006. What drew us here was that small town that it was back then in 2006. I mean, the difference between obviously then and now is, Arrowtown's just sort of bloomed, really, hasn't it? It's wouldn't say it's out of control, but it's definitely not. It's not what it was. And when we moved here in 2006, and
a
few changes.
I moved here in 1999. So it was even different again. So back when I first moved here, much like what you said, completely different town to what it is now. Well, it is, but it isn't. So to be fair, I think the wider region has changed more than Arrowtown.
Correct. Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like Arrowtown as a township, especially the shopping area, hasn't changed that much.
No.
Actually, here's a question for you. Was the Royal Oak pub still here when you first moved here?
Royal Oak. That was the downstairs one?
That was the one that was sort of down next to the post office. You know where the post office is? The post office building? There used to be a massive big pub there.
No, not that I remember. But I do remember that back area getting developed.
Yeah.
Up behind the post shop there.
Yeah, because they pulled down the pub. And so they replaced it. So that whole area was like just a massive big old style pub.
See, I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Whereas because that's where Luxury Real Estate has their office. So Terry in there, and so I knew Terry, and so I knew that he had leased that before it was even, which I think was been out of the ground.
Yeah.
So there would have been something there, but I didn't take notice. It was quite crazy.
I mean, you couldn't miss the pub. Like it was sort of it was not just. See, I remember back then, it was just a really massive, big, long building, and then there was a grassy area in behind it. It wasn't even a garden bar. It was just like a grass area.
Yeah.
And all of that's completely gone now, and it's been redeveloped into that whole little shopping area.
Yes.
Slow Cuts, that whole shopping area now.
Yeah, it's Sotheby's around there.
Yeah.
There's some cool restaurants in there actually.
Yeah. So that was that's a bit of a memory from back in the day. I moved out of the region in 2000. I think it was 2000, and the pub was still there then.
Yeah.
So back then we bought this house that we're living in right now.
Yeah.
So, and we held on to it as a investment property. So, we always had our foot in the, our thumb in Queenstown, in Arrowtown, if you like.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we always had an opportunity to come back.
Yeah.
So what about Arrowtown back then? Do you think was quite different to what it is now?
It's probably the busyness of the streets is what I've noticed. The last probably 2 or 3 times coming back to Arrowtown is, you drive through, like that residential Arrowtown at 5:30, 6 o'clock, even 8 o'clock at night, and you just got cars. They're everywhere all over, like Adamson Drive and Fox's Terrace, etc., etc. And it's like, wow, we just never had that. I was thinking about the old shoulder season, which I think was kind of coming to an end when we'd moved here.
Yeah.
But the Christmas holidays, when Christmas holidays finished, there was a real lull. It was in Arrowtown because everyone had gone back to work, and it was kind of like, Karen and I used to say, my wife, we loved Arrowtown at that point because everyone left, and it was like, we got our town back.
Too. Yeah, so
like the hustle and bustle, and I like because it was Christmas time, right? And, but it's also. It's like you have visitors come to your house. It's like it's nice when they leave too.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, I'm leaving. I'm leaving tonight, bro.
No, it's all good. It's all good, man. Just to explain to some of you out there, if you're not familiar with what a shoulder season is, so here in Arrowtown in the Queenstown region, the summer, the middle of summer and the middle of winter are like really, really busy periods here for visitors, for tourists to come. And so around those peak times, we call it the shoulder season. So, typically it's like spring or autumn, after the summer sort of rush has happened and before the snow comes for the winter season, it used to be a really quiet time here. And so people who lived here look forward to the shoulder season. I did.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, get these tourists out of town so I could just go down the shop and get a pie.
That's right. Yeah. It's just, we complained about it back then.
Yeah.
I mean, and like coming back now, and it's or even driving to set in the morning.
Yeah.
It's like the traffic. Where does this come from?
Yeah.
But then you've got to remember there's Jack's Point, there's Henley, there's Shotover, there's what's the one after Shotover? Lake Hayes.
Lake Hayes, yeah.
You've got so many developments that have, they've not just sprung up. It was, when I moved here, Lake Hayes Estate, they were just, I think I can remember people, not many people, but it's like 90 grand for a section before, like pre-release sections.
Yep.
I mean, far out.
Wow. You can't buy anything. You can't buy a piece of land in this region for less than about 350. 400 grand, and that's just a section. That's with no house on it.
Yeah, and that's not a nice section.
Yeah,
that's probably the back block one. But hey, look, that's the region. You sort of get that, and I think that's probably one of the main reasons why we left, or why we chose to say, hey, look, our Arrowtown adventure had sort of drawn to an end because it had lost that quaintness for us. So like, we used to love walking the kids to school in the morning because we're only 400.
Where were you living?
We're on Fox's Terrace.
Oh, okay.
We're just actually round from the dairy, Adamson Drive there. So we used to walk Jack and Molly and Charlie, along Adamson Drive and into the school there, and that's what we liked. And the kids could walk home, and our kids, they got to an age where they could take off on their bikes. Like it was that small rural town, or not even rural town, but small New Zealand suburbs where kids would take off to the river, and you'd see them at lunchtime and you'd see them at dinner time. I wouldn't do that now if I was. I don't know. It's just, for me, the town's changed. It's
wow. So we're lucky enough to still feel that.
Okay, cool.
Especially like the peak of summer is a classic.
Yeah.
You go down to the river, and there's always family swimming in the river.
Yeah.
They're usually friends of ours.
Yeah.
Like I just go down there to sort of go and catch up with friends I haven't seen in a while, because they always drag their kids down there, and they'll sit down there and read a book, and then their kids will be swimming, and so I'll take. So my kids are familiar with going down there and swimming in the summer. They have a couple of popular swimming holes that they like to go to. Not so much anymore, because probably not as as young as your kids, but my kids have all finished high school now, so
Yeah.
you know they really only come to say hello. They don't come to do the whole summer hangout in Arrowtown thing.
Yeah, understand that.
But,
you talk about swimming down at the river, and I read it must have been a few months ago now. One of those main ropes from the willows got removed.
Yeah, it got pulled down. Well, so one of the branches, the main branch that used to hold the original rope swing, it came down.
Oh,
so we had. So this is crazy, eh? Like you only ever hear of this in places like Queenstown.
Yeah.
Like the snow, it snowed so heavy, and this is kind of hard for some people to understand. It snows so heavy that trees break and fall down.
Yeah.
Due to the weight of the snow.
The
It's
weight
like,
of it.
what? I'm like, yeah. Like we had a really, really big, heavy snowfall here a few years back, and it completely wrecked all the trees down the loop track walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were all the council had to come down, cut all the trees up because all the branches had fallen down. One of them was the branch that used to hold that main rope.
Yeah.
So someone came along and put another rope up there.
God, love community spirit.
Yep, community spirit. However, I'm not sure if you heard why they pulled the rope down.
I didn't. I just saw it hit the media, like locally where I am.
Yeah.
And because it just takes you back, and you go, oh, I remember that rope. And
Yeah.
did someone fall? Someone hurt themselves? And
Yeah, some kid wiped out, hit their face on something. I think they lost a tooth or something. So they had a pretty bad accident.
Okay, that's pretty bad.
And so, council came in and took it down. So, the community spirit tries to go back to the old days. You know, back in the 80s, we used to throw ropes around trees and go swinging.
Car tyres.
And so, no, someone had a pretty bad accident, so they came in and took it down. Whether or not you agree with that, I'm not here to sort of argue one side or the other, but just telling the story. That's what happened, eh?
Yeah. But I guess we can just go back to my story where the rope existed.
Yeah.
Hadn't been cut down at that stage.
No.
And that was the cool stuff we loved of ripping up Tobin's track or I don't know. It just had and there's mainstay locals still here, but we used to get on really well with the lady from the post or the old post office.
Oh yeah.
There's Neil and Shirley Bartlett. He was a painter on the corner of Foxes and Adam, and there was a real cool, the guy at the garage or the guy at the Foursquare, or we really liked that. But I think too, our kids, they were getting older. So Jack had done 1 year at Wakatipu, and we were sort of, Molly was coming through. She was in a couple of years, and we were going, and it was like rents were rising. It was just like everything sort of bottlenecked at one time, and we decided to, eject.
Yeah, push the eject button.
Pretty much, yeah. But like, I don't live with regret.
No, sure.
Although, our time here was hard. Like it's a gold mining town.
And if you
to get ahead, you've got to hustle.
So you can talk from a perspective of a person who didn't own in this region.
No.
So you were trying to get on the property ladder, right?
Oh, like a demon. Yeah.
Fuck, it's a slog, man. It's hard work, eh?
It's mind blowing. And hats off to anyone doing it and successfully doing it. I had some health trouble, so that sort of
everyone does in this town.
Yeah. It sort of took it changed my direction. So I kind of lost my opportunity, I guess, to get there. But I don't look back and live with regret or loss.
No, should you? No, it's an experience, right?
I look back at the times of, I've still got so many happy memories of walking my daughter.
Oh, yeah, dollars.
Yeah, I definitely lost a lot of dollars, but my daughter, when she was born, we had so many happy memories of going for walks and doing those walks down by the river, or Karen, my wife, would do the loop track as he talked around, and there's the bridge right down the very end. If you actually walk that, and I think it's probably about it's probably about at the halfway point. You'll see in the mesh wiring, it's almost like something's tried to go through it.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's all punched out.
Yeah.
Well, that was my pram
Okay.
years ago now, where I can't remember now. I think it was Jack was pushing Molly, and Jack pushed too hard, and the pram went. Well, you'd think it was going to go through the netting, but it didn't. And
Yeah.
But anyway, I did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look at that. A little bit of Mikey left in Arrowtown, eh?
Oh, there's a lot of Mikey. There's a lot of Mikey here.
So back in the day,
It doesn't sound good, does it?
so something that has been a game changer for us, because we've lived here, I'm going to say 9 years. And so this time around, and before, like when we got here, oh yeah, I've got the yes from the
Just,
better half that it is 9 years.
Yes, confirming 9 years.
And so we got confirmation. What was I going to say? When we first got here, the only place you could go and buy anything was the Night and Day in Arrowtown.
Yeah.
Yeah, which nothing against the Night and Day, but it's pretty expensive. To just get a snack or get something to eat.
Yeah.
It's not supermarket prices. It's 3 times that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So the big game changer for us was when the Foursquare opened. Arrowtown Foursquare opened, completely changed everything. And I'll tell you what, it's just that Adamson Drive now is just, it's crazy, especially around, sort of around the 3 o'clock when the kids finish school and the 5 o'clock when people finish work.
Yeah.
It's absolutely choked.
It's mayhem.
It's
just
mayhem.
But you can understand why. And I think it must have been around the time when that Foursquare opened. Might have been a year around that. Sort of that's when we left.
Yeah.
So we remember, like we were talking the other day about, I think it was, and I remembered the name, it was Black Fox Video was in the corner, and then there was the dairy on the other side. Yeah, so that's kind of what we remember. That's going back a long time. But no, just going back to the whole vibe that you mentioned about how you had the painter living next door to you or living close to you, so you're really good friends. I'm lucky that we know our neighbours really well here. And we're all owners, so we've all been here for a long time, and I have that feel living here. That's nice.
Yeah, I absolutely love living here in Arrowtown because it's got that old school kind of neighbourhood feel. We've actually watched some people's kids grow up, leave home. So, it's a sort of a throwback to the old 80s, having like a quarter-acre section and families living there and swinging on rope swings and stuff. I still get that vibe from Arrowtown, It's one of the reasons why I love living here.
Okay. I'd love to come back, don't get me wrong. But I wouldn't want to come back and have a
it's priced out.
$2 million mortgage.
No, it's priced out.
And I'm earning $180,000 a year.
Yeah. No, we bought here in 1999.
Yeah.
So given that's a long time ago for those of you who haven't figured it out, it's like 25 years ago.
It's a long time.
And so we've had this house for 25 years, and the thing is, when I make a decision, when we decide, me and the wife decide that we're leaving here and we're going to sell up and go, as soon as we do that, we know we're never coming back because it'll be priced out.
Yeah.
Like, we could not afford to come back and buy here after we sell up. So, I have a lot of sympathy for those people who are who want to live in a place like this, but it's just too expensive. You know, I'm just lucky that I've still got the house that I bought from 25 years ago. So I don't have a $2 million mortgage. I don't have anything close to that as a mortgage because that's not what mortgages were back when I bought. No. I'm lucky, but I know I'm lucky, and I know that when I decide that I'm leaving, that we probably ain't ever coming back.
Yeah.
So
well positioned. I mean, I guess you can call it luck. Luck 25 years down the line, but at the end of the day, 25 years ago, you're putting your balls on the line.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
to
man.
me, you pay the price, you get the benefit. So.
Yep. Yeah, and you know, so I have sympathy for people who can't get on the property ladder. I'm not going to sit here and go work harder. You know, you're not working hard enough. That's just bullshit. That's what old people.
Yeah.
It's the type of stuff old people say to young people.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I managed to do it, so what's wrong with you? No, it's a different financial climate, man. Totally
Way
different.
Way different. Yeah.
So I had opportunities that no one my age back then has now. No one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
good.
yeah, I count my lucky stars.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I lived in a time that was opportune for me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No
And you
issues.
poor bastards, you poor young people trying to get ahead now. I feel sorry for you. You
Yeah.
need to go out and vote for a government that's going to look after you, man. Because
Don't get him started on government.
yeah,
But he's right. Yeah, let's not even go there.
yeah, I know.
How do you do it? Don't know.
Anyway, this is a quick chat about Arrowtown. Anyway, so what are your three best memories of living in Arrowtown when you lived here?
Whoa. Best memories would be giving the kids that opportunity to be raised, you know, for Molly and Charlie to say that they were born in Central Otago or born in Arrowtown.
Yeah, right.
We all know that no one was born in Arrowtown.
Yeah.
But because the hospital was
Yeah, it
either
was
in
moved out.
Invercargill
Yeah.
or Lakes if you were lucky.
Yep.
So, yeah, Molly and Charlie can say that they're from Arrowtown, and I love that.
Nice.
You know, the best years of their life, you know, were had in Arrowtown.
Yeah, cool.
Well, for us raising them, I guess. And
Yeah.
so I guess that was one, and then I guess, you know, having that experience for Karen and I, you know, it was definitely number two. You know, to live in this town was it's phenomenal. Love
Yeah.
it. Like I say, would love to come back.
Yep.
And three. Oh, can there be a three? It's just the vibe here. It's just the vibe. Something creative,
Yeah.
non-judgmental.
Yeah.
It's just yeah,
Yeah, it's got like an entrepreneurial spirit here.
definitely has.
I
yeah.
just find people are all busy. Everybody's busy.
I really gelled
Yeah.
with the environment here.
Yeah.
And I do miss that because going home, like I'll go
Yeah.
home tonight and within a couple of days, it'll be like, oh yeah. And even coming back up yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Just coming up going, oh, I don't really feel like doing this today.
Yeah.
And then you get up here and it's like, oh no, there you go. Boom, there it is.
Yep.
So there is something here, and
No,
definitely.
it's definitely got a different kind of vibe.
Yeah,
It's
without
like
doubt.
living in a different country, but a New Zealand version of that country. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, I agree, yeah.
It's a different type of New Zealand, anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
But anyway, one of my favourite fights has just started, so we're going to wrap up this chat and
Strickland Costa.
yeah, Strickland Costa on UFC. So yeah, good chat.
Yeah,
I
bro.
mean,
Always good.
but all in all, what are your viewpoints of Arrowtown? Is it positive, negative? What do you?
Always positive.
Always
I
positive,
guess, you know, you move. Yeah, if you're going to move here, you're going to move here for your reasons.
Yeah.
We moved here for our reasons.
Yeah.
And, we chose to move away, but we'll never look back with regret.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Cool. Awesome,
Love
man.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
bro.
So, we'll leave it at that for the quick chat. Just a quick chat. We'll probably come back and wrap around and have another chat on Arrowtown because
Yeah.
there's so much more we could talk about Arrowtown.
It's an easy chat, isn't it?
Easy chat.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we will we'll leave it there. If you got any comments to make, if you got any questions to either me or Mikey, pop them down in the chat box below. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll see you next time on The Chew. Mā te wā.